What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the RAS Project, the show where you will learn how to thrive and grow in every aspect of life, business, using real, raw, and 100% no bullshit proven tactics. My name is Ivan Temelkov, and I'm your host. Ladies and gentlemen, you're probably doing better than most, even at your worst. That's what we're going to talk about today on this episode of the RAS Project. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and always you can watch at ivantemelkov.com/podcast on any device of your choice. We're actually live on Instagram right now on my personal account on Instagram Live as well. So before we jump into today's topic, I wanted to mention a couple of things. So first of all, hope you all had a great Independence Day holiday. There was no podcast episode on Monday. It was observed. So I actually was out of town and spent some time with family in Kansas City, Missouri for the 4th of July weekend. The fireworks were great. The Casey Riverfront is actually pretty amazing. It's very open and inviting, even though it's next to a river, believe it or not. I mean, as you know, being next to a river, it's kind of smelly. It's got that odor, it's muggy, especially when it was hot outside. It was in the 90s, so but the Casey Riverfront is pretty awesome, if I must say so. You're probably doing better than most, even at your worst. If you find value in this episode of the podcast, I would greatly appreciate it if you leave a review on Apple, Google, wherever it is, Spotify, that you're getting this episode of the podcast. It would mean the world to me. Like I said, you're probably doing better than most, even at your worst. Most of you don't realize that even at your worst, you're probably doing better than most people. Why is that, though? Why am I telling you this? Most people forget about their accomplishments and their capabilities, believe it or not. People forget how far they've come and forgotten to appreciate the journey and effort it took to get to where you are today. And I want to share a story with you, ladies and gentlemen, to paint a picture of what I'm talking about here and how it relates to life and business. So I'm a cyclist, something that I've done for mental therapy and personal development, mind, body, and soul for 8 years now. What started out as just a fitness initiative has now turned into a mind, body, and soul exercise for the past 8 years. Yesterday, while I was on my 25-mile bike ride, I experienced something that inspired me to talk about it in this specific episode. And that is, you're probably doing better than most. Okay, follow along with the story. As I was going down this 2-mile straightaway, literally just as straight as an arrow, straight road, the wind was blasting straight at my face. So here I am pedaling my ass away at what it seemed like turtle speed, bitching and moaning and cussing like a fucking sailor at the wind in hope that it'll slow down. Well, the wind didn't slow down, okay? The wind kept blasting at my face. I kept pedaling at what it seemed like turtle speed compared to my usual top speed, which is usually about 35 to 40 miles per hour. Okay? Like feeling like I would never get to the end of this fucking 2 mile straightaway. Literally. I'm just picture this. On a bike, pedaling, wind is blaring at your face, you're pedaling, and it seems like no matter what it is you're doing, you're just not going fast enough. Okay? Then, about halfway into this 2 mile straightaway stretch, I started to come up on an older couple who were just joyriding on their cruisers. So here's me, head down, handlebars on my road bike. I'm just pedaling away at what it seems like turtle speed to me. I pop my head up and suddenly I see this a couple right there. Excuse me, an older couple. All right. And they're just joyriding, right, on their cruisers. It's one of those cruiser bikes, okay? You could tell they were struggling with the wind, judging by their body language. They were like maneuvering, as you could tell that they were facing tension from the wind that was blasting relentlessly at their face. All right? Obviously, they had heavier bikes, so you can only imagine what it probably felt like pedaling on those things with the wind blasting at their face and holding you back. Okay? So here's what happened next. There was a pivotal point in the story if you're paying attention thus far. Okay? As I passed the couple, and what it seems like my total speed for me, I came to a realization right then and there that I had the upside. Why did I have the upside? Why did I have the better end of the deal? I had a lighter bike, better technique, a tactic, and a shit ton of willpower to keep pedaling my ass away no matter what it took. Now, let me repeat that again. Lighter bike, better technique, proven tactic, and a shit ton of willpower to keep pedaling my ass away, no matter how hard this wind was blasting at my face. I wasn't about to give up. Fuck no. I was not going to give in. My willpower was saying no. Keep going, Ivan. Keep going. No matter what. Now, let me extrapolate this story for you guys. Okay? Just so you can understand why I decided to share this story with you. Okay? Why is this story relevant to anything we're talking about on this podcast? Whether it's in your life or business, chances are that you're always doing better than most. Than most people, even at your worst. Okay? So, in the story that I shared with you, where I'm pedaling my ass away on a 2-mile stretch, I see this elderly couple on their cruisers. I pass them at what it seems like turtle speed to me, suddenly coming to realization that, you know what, Ivan? You're doing better than these two. All right? And even though you're going slower than your usual speed, you're still passing them. And you're still gaining. Literally, by the time I got to the end of the straightaway, it felt like they were halfway behind me when I look back. Okay? And the reason I'm telling you this story is because, do you feel stuck? Do you feel like you're not performing at your best? Do you feel like you're constantly failing? Do you feel like the entire world is against you? Ladies and gentlemen, gratitude, being humble, recognizing those things will fuel you to strive and do better. Look, there's in life and in business, there's always someone who's doing worse than you. Okay? Try being homeless, try being bankrupt. Okay? I haven't been homeless, but I have been bankrupt. I know what it feels like. So there are people literally out there right now who are to a disadvantage. They have far less than what you have. They don't have the nice house. They don't have the nice car. They don't make as much money as you do. Okay? And what I want you to understand that you are probably light years ahead from those people, but it's because you worked your ass for it. You put in the time, you did the work. So realize that even at your worst, and ladies and gentlemen, I have my days too. Yesterday, in fact, was one of those days. It was one of the reasons why I went out to cycle, because cycling is my mental therapy. Because this week, right after the 4th of July weekend, right after coming back from a weekend getaway from my family, it literally felt like a fucking shitstorm. Like a fucking shitstorm. Everything crumbled on my head to the point to where I started to feel depressed, anxious, stressed out, and I just didn't know how to escape, but I did. How to mitigate, I did. And you know what I did? I went cycling because I knew that that is my form of therapy. That is my way to cope. That is my way to detox. In a way, to detox. And this is exactly why I shared this story with you, because I want you to understand that chances are that even at your worst, even at your slower speed, even on your worst days, you're probably having better days than most people out there. All right? And I'm not going to get into politics and news and all this other bullshit, but let's face it, 2020 was a challenging year for a lot of people. Either way you cut it, slice it, or dice it, it was just a challenging year for many people. For me, I was able to grow my marketing agency to over 6 figures, en route to 7 figures. And you know what? It's because the work was done. I did the work. I put in the effort. I networked. I helped enough people get what they want. Okay? And that is the key message that I want to share in this particular episode. Take a look around today, right now, and you'll notice that you're probably doing a whole lot more, a lot better, even at your worst, than most people. That, ladies and gentlemen, is being grateful, is being humble. One of the things that, and I'll give you another quick tidbit, actually, that I wanted to share. So yesterday, I was at McDonald's, and my kids are addicted to chicken nuggets. I'm still trying to figure out how to move them away from that. We're working on that. But so we're at the McDonald's drive-thru, right? And so I ordered 2 Happy Meals for my kids, and the total was like $9.69. And to be quite honest with you, actually, my kids favor more of the Happy Meal toys over the nuggets, which actually, makes me happy, because they eat the nuggets and the French fries, but they get more excited about the toys. Nonetheless, total is $9.69. And the girl at the drive-thru window says, "Do you want to round it up to $10 for the Ronald McDonald charity?" I said, "Sure." And you see, the reason I'm sharing this with you is because it's not about the fact that I was at the McDonald's drive-thru. It was about the fact that I contributed whatever it was, some cents, to donate, which I mean, it seems like I'm at McDonald's probably twice a week on average because that's how often my kids want Happy Meals. But the initiative behind rounding up, because you know what? There's kids out there who need that more than I do. So he's just doing a small gesture, a small token of appreciation. It doesn't have to be anything monumental. You know, you don't have to give away hundreds, thousands, millions of dollars. You don't have to go to great lengths. It's just doing something, okay, to express your gratitude. And again, the reason I shared this story also in closing is because I want you to take a look around today, right now, wherever you are. And you'll notice that you're probably doing a whole lot better than most people in your network. Okay? That's what I want you to understand. That's what you need to take away today. Because there's a lot of people out there who simply don't appreciate, don't give a fuck, because they think that everything is owed to them. Nothing is owed to you. Nobody owes you anything. Okay? No, but nothing is given to you. What you've worked for, even at your worst, is probably worth more than what most people have out there. I want you to think about that. And again, ladies and gentlemen, just to wrap things up, this was episode 136 of the RAS Project. And we're live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, also at ivantemelkov.com/podcast, where you can watch live whenever we are live at any time on any device on any platform. And the audio version of this episode right here is going to be available on all the major podcast streaming platforms here in just a little bit, within the next hour or so. Ladies and gentlemen, you are great. You are amazing. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you got value out of it, please hop on Apple or Google or Spotify. Throw a rating up there. I would greatly appreciate it. Until next time, have an amazing day. Have a great weekend.